Welcome back to a new episode of TBH. I'm your host, Jay Specialist from thebeerheads.com. Let's get into today's episode. On today's episode, we're looking at a Boulevard Brewing Company beer out of Kansas City, Missouri. This is a collaboration they did with Sierra Nevada, a take on an American wild ale that they barrel aged with Brettanomyces. That barrel is a whiskey barrel. This is coming in at 8.5% ABV. Let's get this into a glass and I'll let you know what I think of this one. Definitely picking up an acidic nose in this one. You definitely pick up some tart cherry in here, some blackberries, a little vinous, like vinegary nose to this one. That funkiness, that whole quality in there. Not too much of that whiskey barrels popping up, but you do get some fruitiness that's kind of coming from it in a way off the Brett. I do pick up a little fruitiness off that. But the whiskey barrel, you're not getting too much alcohol. That whole quality of the nose popping out in this one. Very acidic on the nose, that tart-like nose. Not too much on the palate up front. You get a little bit of acidity that fades to a boozy type, oaky tannin-like quality. Definitely picking that from the whiskey barrel. Some dryness from the Brett. A little bit of an earthy type quality to this one. A dry, subtle, bitter finish to it. A little bit of a black cherry, almost like a baker's chocolate cocoa nib type bitterness. So pick up a nice pale malt character in here that you taste on that palate, as well as just a vinous like almost body. You can definitely pick up some heat. The booze is kind of there. It's not too noticeable, but it is present and you can definitely feel it. My thoughts on Boulevard Brewing Company's collaboration with Sierra Nevada for Terra Incognita. This one was an interesting beer. Wasn't the best I've tried from their smokestack series, and a little disappointed. It was interesting, but it's not something I would pick up again, or I would go pick up right away. If you see one bottle left on the shelf, I wouldn't even say grab it unless you haven't tried it. But even at that, this is pretty. This is not what I was expecting. You pick up the whiskey barrel somewhat. The whole Brett does give a little bit of that whole fruitiness type character in the nose, that dryness, tannin oak qualities. Definitely get pale malt. It's just a mix of flavors that's not fitting together, in my opinion. I definitely don't say check this one out, but it was an interesting take on what they both did together, you guys. Other than that, like I always say, live, learn, and drink. I'm going to enjoy my beer. You guys should do the same.